Hey guys, so I decided to do a reading on Mamta. I hope I'm not saying that wrong. I'm not great at pronunciation of names, and I never want to say them wrong because everybody says my name wrong. It's Rochelle, not Rachel, but people tend to call me Rachel. But I try not to do that to other people, but I have a hard time unless I hear it. I can't like read it. So I hope I'm saying that right. Anyways, I just heard about this case like literally 2 days ago, and there's a couple cases that I really want to work on, and I have to get to Bradley's this week. I'm really trying. It's supposed to cool down. I'm extremely tired for some reason, so hopefully I'm able to get everything done I need to get done. So I'm trying to get more content up for you before the end of the month and whatnot. All the ways to support me are in the description box down below. Remember, I am an ambassador for Otter Spirit gemstone bracelets, and they do have them for your own astrology sign. I did put a commercial about that on my channel. I don't want to add them to every video, but I'm going to be adding them to some of them. So I do get a percentage out of every sale, and so do the otters. Also, if you would like to book a reading, I am working Wednesdays on readings right now. I don't know if that's going to change in the future. It may not. Just depends on if I can get things going on how I want to. I wanted to focus on true crime and stuff, but with the heat, I've had a hard time getting done what I want to get done. So I'm hoping hopefully the next 2 months as it cools down, I'm able to get more done and see if that's something I'm able to do. But I still have bookings opening on Wednesday, and if that doesn't work for you, then we can always talk about it. I do have the jewelry that I did post on the community page, and I can make you something if you would like. All proceeds go to my bird needs his beak done again and other things. And then I also have a merchandise, and that is also, you can see that in the video below here. There's a shop, and there is one where the proceeds go directly to training justice for obedience and for scent work. So if you're interested in helping out with that, I will be doing more merchandise, but there is specific merchandise for that if you would like. But all the ways to support me are in the description box below. Make sure that you like and subscribe if you like this kind of content. And if you like this video, don't forget to do that for me, please. I appreciate it. And send me a comment as long as it's positive. Please be positive to me and to everybody else in everyday life and the people in the comments. We try to vibe as high as we can here, although we're talking about not so high vibe stuff. This is about truth and justice, and that's what we're here for. So I just tried to give the victims a voice and give as much information as I can. So first of all, I guess I'm going to read the Autowrite, and then I'm going to pull some cards. So I decided to do an Autowrite, and I'll explain all of that, but I'll pull cards after. I'm not going to have to pull a bunch of cards because we kind of already know, like, who did it. I already have an idea of what happened, but it'd be interesting to see what the location cards say and if there's any extra information that comes in the cards. So I like to do that as a form of validation and a little bit of extra information. It is always any tool is always like an extension of you. I have been trying a few different ways for locating on a map. I don't know how accurate they are. So I may try to do that after I finish recording this and see what I come up with. And if it's relevant, I'll let you guys know if it seems like it makes sense. But again, don't be running off and saying, oh, that's where she says that she is. I don't know, because I have no way to, I haven't not really tested this or taken the time to test this to see how accurate it is. But if it matches my reading, then it's something to always look at, right? So I like to kind of explain that to people. So we'll see what happens with that. And I don't know if that's going to be a separate video or if it's going to be, I might make a video of me doing it with the rods. That's something new that I'm trying because I was doing the pendulum. The pendulum hasn't been too far off, but I think it's been off. But the rods are interesting. I want to try to see how accurate they are. But again, rods and pendulums, they're not always accurate. It's just a tool. It's an extension of you. But in my opinion, I feel like it's kind of like hit and miss, but it can be accurate. I've seen many psychics and mediums use them and be very accurate with them. I've seen them use them on cases and locate people with them. So I think it all just depends. And everything practice makes perfect, right? So as you guys know with the Autowrite, I do read what I've already channeled. I type I channel the best when I type because it's just me and spirit. It's a deeper channel. And so because I say that because I had a lot of comments that were like, why are you just reading? And that's why. I do also channel with the cards and channel different ways, but this is my favorite way. This is the best way. And there's really no sitters for me right now that are available when I'm available. My hours are all weird and stuff, and I never know when I'm going to work. So that's another thing. And sometimes I feel like those readings aren't completely accurate, just because depending on what information that we know, it may not be right and kind of lead me in the wrong direction, and no fault of their own. But it's just I kind of go where spirit leads me on what to do for each case, and I'm trying to learn how to work independently because I feel like that's really important, because not everybody's not going to be available to help me. So I want to try to work independently, and auto writing is my best way, and then the cards and everything kind of back it up. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. And in here I said I don't know if how to say her name correctly, so hopefully that's right. I'm not sure. So I wanted to start this case with an Autowrite. I do know that there is a lot out, and he's been arrested and stuff. May come through that's known, but I'll never give you info unless I see it myself. I am trying to see what happened to her and where she could be. So that is the point of doing this reading. I may pull some cards after, but I don't need to pull as many as usual. As I said, keep in mind, this is an Autowrite. Although I try to remain focused, other cases may come in, which they kind of didn't hear as far as I know. I didn't really get any names or anything. So, because that's what happens. If you would like to understand that more, there's a link in the description box below. There's a this is a deeper channel. That's why I like to channel this way. Some things can be at any point in the situation. So remember, it's not always that night or day or whatever. It can be other times. I normally don't like to work cases where there is stuff out. I actually just heard about this like day before yesterday. So there are other cases I'm wanting to work, but this one seems to be the one that's calling me the strongest right now. I'm a bit tired today, but I'll do the best that I can. I like to explain how I work in case some people don't really know. Information that comes in can be past, present, future, symbolic, metaphoric, not always literal in how that I see things, and they can have multiple meanings, especially numbers and whatnot. There's always connections, especially numerology in cases. And I will give you guys, if I get extra information, because sometimes I do when I'm reading this, I'll give it to you. Things are a matter of perception. It fits how it fits. I have to take what I'm getting from spirit and translate that to you. So I have to it's like another language. I may sometimes misperceive. I'm only a human, and I will only get what I'm meant to get. And there is timing to everything. Unfortunately, we can only give what we get. There are puzzle pieces to any case, and so we have to put those puzzle pieces together. Locations are usually a description of surroundings, directions, etc. We have to pay close attention to what's being shown. I may get things surrounding him, her, or anywhere else that's important. And remember about those interconnects. And again, I'm reading the channel, and I did. And everyone's innocent until proven guilty. Viewer discretion is advised. This is for entertainment purpose only psychic medium impressions. Have to throw that out there. Okay. All right. So one thing I know is that she worked at a hospital. I don't know if she was a nurse or something like that, but she keeps putting the stethoscope around her neck and walking. She kept showing me that. So again, I understand that that's known, but I will get stuff like that for validation. And if I don't say things, they repeat. So I don't have a choice but to say them. And she kept showing me that. She kept putting the stethoscope around her neck. It can also be like symbolic for medical, but it feels like it could, like she had her hair in a ponytail at that time. She feels like she was tired. I don't know if she's been working a lot or if things have been stressful, but I can see that been arguing with her husband because she makes me feel like she's tired and stressed and worn out from the relationship. I feel she hid it well, and she shows me her hiding bruises, especially around her neck and like down here. So I don't know if she did this with makeup or hair. I see her pulling up what looks like a medical jacket like this. And that also may be symbolic, like just her trying to hide it. She tells me that they have been fighting for a while and that she was going to leave him. She says that she always hid things, how things were, but she may have told a few people like what was going on. I don't know if she had a sister, but I also get a friend. So both seems she told them or hinted to them what was going on. Deeply, she was afraid of him. I feel this was planned and he prepped and whatnot, because I feel that she was planning on leaving him and he knew it. The other things that seem to be involved, there's other things that seem to be involved. I hear affair, but I don't know which side that is on. But she shows me like she was thinking and trying to see how she was going to leave. I feel that he was basically an undercover psychopath narcissist. He would pretend to be nice and pull her back or put a mask on for her or other people as a manipulation tool. He feels like he has a professional job and that he did let the mask slip sometimes. If people really think back, they can see signs and red flags. I feel like she felt imprisoned and stuck a lot, and she tells me after marriage, it's almost like narcissist versus empath on this, because I feel like she was very much like an empath. That's just coming to me right now. She felt imprisoned and stuck a lot. It tells me after marriage, or when it became kind of a commitment, things got worse. I don't know if it's almost like after the marriage, like things kind of shifted and changed. They're in a car at some point together. There's visions that she shows. There's sort of this vision she shows me of her looking out the window, like the car window, like sad and it's dark. And I don't know, there's just a distance and disconnect, and she's really afraid to say or do anything at this point. I don't know if it's days leading up to this were kind of brutal, but she keeps saying like this up and down roller coaster, and that was emotional. I feel like she was trying to make her plans to leave and get the courage to leave. I feel like he could really be a devil or demon when he got mad. My left shoulder's hurting like badly, so I don't know if that's where stab wound was, or she was hit there in some way or something. But it still even hurts now. And right when I saw this case, I knew this was personal rage filled and that there were knives used. I often kind of get a reference to Anna's husband in that crime being similar. I did a reading on that case, but also I cannot remember her name right now, but her name was Anna. And her husband's in jail right now. So you can look up that, you can Google that case, but it's kind of like they reference cases to me to like say these are similar circumstances. So I don't know if there's money or secrets in some way. I feel like it's dark when he gets home. I don't know why I keep seeing how lights look when they come into a driveway and hit the house. I'm not sure why. I'm also wondering if she was pregnant or if there was a baby lost. I keep seeing something about that, and I don't know if it's like was now or not. But it's like she is tricked and trapped. He attacks her. I feel like I'm hit over the head. I'm dragged by my hair. There's definitely a struggle that occurs I keep seeing the baby in a crib or playpen in its room, and it's sitting up, so I don't know if the baby woke up or what. I'm wondering how close to the kitchen the living room is, if it's all like an open floor plan, because I keep seeing getting reference to both. I feel like I'm attacked viciously, and I feel multiple stab wounds, like one knife, maybe another knife. I feel like there may be different kinds of knife wounds, but it's like he's on top of her and he's just going nuts. He's lost it. I feel like this is a psychotic break of some sort. I feel like he's always been sort of a dark person, hiding it well, but he's let the monster out. And I'm sorry if I start reading fast. That's just my Mercury in Aquarius. You can slow me down if you want to. There's something that has angered him badly, and he is unleashing hate on her. I also feel, and I don't know why as I'm talking like there's a reference to like her private parts and stuff. So I'm not sure if there's some kind of anger towards that, but that's kind of coming in as I'm talking to you guys. Again, that she was forced to put on a happy face for her protection of her child, because it's like there's threats of what he would do to her and the baby. Excuse me. Like, I'll unalive you and the baby, or I'll unalive the baby if you tell anyone. Manipulation tactics. I see him smacking her and her falling to the ground. And this might have been a different time. Like sitting there, her hair is in her face, and she looks up at him, and he looks down at her, and he's like telling her, you tell anyone, you'll be sorry. This seemed to start, I don't know, I keep getting reference to 6 months. So I do feel like I hear like battered wife syndrome. So I feel like there was abuse going on. Maybe it was hidden very well, but I don't know if it's like, this wasn't like an all of a sudden thing. It is the way that it comes across. So I don't know if it's 6 months in or 6 months ago. She keeps telling me he's the devil, and in the moment, he had no remorse, no care, only anger and hate. He's very controlling, and everything had to be his way. I also get a neck reference, and I'm not sure if she's all in one piece. Hope I'm wrong on this. I feel like there's a reference to the bathtub and trying to cut things off. I don't know, that was weird. Maybe just little body parts, or what he can, in reference to trash bags, the thick ones. I feel like the planning was done prior, and I do feel like he tried to clean up. Now, I do know that there were drag marks that came out today, so that could explain he was dragging her into the bathroom or into another room to finish what he was doing, or his plan to get her out of the house. I do know that was released today, but And I wonder if there's a bag missing, like, besides trash bags. Like, I don't know. I don't know why I got a suitcase. I know that he was packing to move, but I'm getting like a suitcase coming in right now, and I don't know what. I don't know if that's her body or him packing to move or what that is. I'm not sure. But it's like he tried to clean everything. I get bottles and bottles of bleach and rags, and I can see him scrubbing the floor and Harry at one point and throwing shiz around. But there was a lot ransacked in the middle of the fight. She tells me she did not go down easy. This was a fight for her life, and I even see her attempting to run to her baby at some point to protect her, but she didn't make it. She was worried that he would hurt her, and I feel she protected the child with her life. She was a good mom, caring person, and she was beat down by him and this relationship, and she just keeps saying he was so controlling. And she also says paranoid. So I don't know if there was actually an affair or if it's part of the paranoia. I'd be curious if there's not substances at some point, and I'm getting that as well, and that may just be undercover or why she's showing me needles. I'm not sure. So I'm not sure, but I am also getting a pain in my right eye on the side. So I don't know if she was hit or what. My neck hurts. My left shoulder hurts. Mostly my upper body, and I don't know. There's something about her face, so I don't know if that was a focus of rage at some point. She's saying he had a few days, and I do know that he was planning to flee, and didn't report her missing right away. That's so he could take her to where he wanted and had time and everything. He thought he was smart and could run away without anyone finding out. He's an undercover psychopath, and I feel like, and I do get the reference to Chris Watts, but I think he might be worse. I get that reference a lot when it comes to these type of guys. So, and I feel that there may be relationships in the past that may also bring this to people's attention. So one thing I keep getting is a line. So that's either new city, county, state. I get a reference to a national park. So I don't know if there's one. And again, things can be reference points. So it doesn't mean like she's in one, but she could be by one, or past one. But things can be reference points too on the way or around the area. Just remember that. So I don't know if there's like a sign to an entrance that's beige or it has rocks on it or something. I keep seeing that, but it's blurry. So I keep getting reference to that. So I don't know if it's in or by, but there's also a wooded area. There's also something about dumpsters. So I don't know if that's evidence or her, because I do feel like he threw a lot away and there was several trash bags. And as he apparently dismembered her and put her in the dumpster, I don't know. I kind of see different bags being thrown. I want to say there's a reference to road, woods, and like an area of water. It's like a river, creek, or something, and it feels like he throws bags at some point, which is weird, but I don't know if it's symbolic. Like I'm throwing a bag. I don't know. And I don't know if it's symbolic. Like I'm just like checking out of the car. Not that he did that, but I mean he could have with some stuff, I guess. Which is weird. I don't know. He wasn't in his right frame of mind, honestly, when he like did everything. It feels like I'm in like this, like, I don't know. Like I'm not really paying attention to what I'm doing, almost like a fog, if that makes sense. She could be in a wooded area that maybe he pinged by, because they keep showing me a tower. So there's a road. I feel it's more remote, and a reference like, oh, you walk from the road into the woods, and there's like maybe a creek or river at some point. Like if you keep going, a lot of woods. And I also get like an overpass, like those little bridges that have like things on the side to keep you from going over, railings. I get like a little one, so it's not huge. I keep getting woods, and seeing him kind of trying to cover her up, but not completely. I have to go back to afterwards. He was in a panic, and he may have sat with the body for a bit, because I see that, and I do feel, although planned, there's that time when all the feelings that you felt during something like this start to shift, and you're coming down from the high, so to speak, and you're like in a state of confusion or psychosis in a way. Not that he didn't know what he was doing, he did, but the guy's not well, and I feel like he's panicking at this point. I can see him again cleaning everything. I wonder if the 27th makes sense. I see him like putting a bunch of bags into and cleaning stuff, and I feel he did more cleaning when he got home. I'm really curious about the bathtub. I keep seeing her in there, like she was placed there for a bit. It's kind of weird. See her sitting up against the wall in that way. She keeps showing me a stop sign, so there may be a stop sign in the area of where she is. It feels more like she might be not far from one. I don't know. It feels more like a remote road. We'll see. There's a tool. Let's see. I get the reference to the September, like the beginning. I keep getting a reference to the 1st and 2nd. Something may happen around that time. There's a reference to school. Maybe it was past or is around the area. I get like a very wooded forest, like near a close to a national park. He may have drove for a bit. I feel like there may be cameras that caught him somewhere, and again, there's reference to a ping, and I see a cell tower. It's like right off the road. You go to the woods, and it's very wooded. She's not far from there. There's reference to 30, so I don't know if that's a day. That could be this month, last month. It could be minutes or miles, etc. I'm getting a reference to a C, but I can't make out the word. I keep getting that song Chantilly Lace. I don't know. She also keeps showing me red flags, so I don't know if these were like red flags, if there's some sort of red something in the area. I'm also, or there was red flags about him. That can also be it, but I also keep getting like the short bridge. She's showing me crystals, so I don't understand that either, like raw ones. There's a connection he has to this area though, like it doesn't feel like it's not known to him, and I'd be curious where he worked, because that's coming in as well, and I'm not really sure why. I keep getting electrical towers as well, and a splitting of roads, so I don't know if it's a crossroads or like they split, I feel like in some way. I feel like I'm out of the city, and I hear the word rule, and the road has some curves to it. She says she loves her child, and she's sorry she has to be without parents. She's talking about how selfish dad is, and she is blowing her kisses. I feel like grandparents may take her or something. And I'm getting a plane with that, so I don't know if they're flying grandma in or what that's about, but they feel like hers. She's thankful she has some sort of family. I feel like she was kind, gentle, soul, shy at times, and that she was always doing for others. She had plans, she had dreams, she had goals, and he took them from her. She says that she loves her mom, so I don't know if they were close. I keep getting her blowing kisses to her baby, and I keep hearing baba, so I don't know if that's like what a grandma's called, or that's what the kid was like, a word the kids was saying. I don't know, but it's like baba. She is glad she's safe. That was her concern. She keeps saying he was unhinged. Also evidence in car as well. I keep getting blood and hair that he tried to clean, and I also feel knives are not there, but like with the stuff he disposed of, I think. So I don't know if they found him or not yet, but I kind of get like the reference to like Suzanne and Jennifer Dulos, where they went to different dumpsters or different areas to like throw things away. He's thinking in his warped mind that he's going to get away with it because he thinks he's done. And as I said that with the dumpsters, it's like I'm in a parking lot, like the dumpsters behind the parking lot, but it's like he's looking around for cameras or something. I don't know if he missed one. I feel like I'm looking at it from a camera, if that makes sense. I don't know. But he feels like in his warped mind that he'll get away with this because he thinks he's done a good job hiding body. I think they may find remains, though, because I see tape around an area that's by the road. You walk into the woods, and I get news and stuff. So they may track data and ping and find her. And I hear retraced steps. Hopefully this reading helps. She's a kind and gentle soul. I don't know if she ever wrote, but she shows me her writing in a journal. She says she'll be okay, and she turns around and walks into the light. And one more thing. She shows me her laughing and acting silly. I guess she had a silly side, but her culture was important to her, and I get lots of Indian food and Indian culture and dancing. And also, as I'm talking to you guys, I see her like playing with her kid, like sitting on the floor playing with her kid. So I don't know if that was something like she did with her a lot too. Like her kids seemed to be everything, and I feel like that's one reason she might have stayed in the relationship. So I'm gonna skip to the cards. Keep in mind that cards are tools; they are an extension of the user, and it does matter how we perceive the cards. Okay, so I did these ones I just wanted to kind of validate things, but poison, so I'm taking that as this was a poison situation. Missing, she's still missing. I do feel there was strangulation, as I said, in my throat, and when I was caught, I don't know if you guys heard me earlier, I started coughing. Imprisonment, so as she said in the reading, she was in prison, so I feel like she was imprisoned in this relationship. We have the knife card. We have trafficking. That could be any sort of trafficking. Or maybe he was into some weird stuff. I don't know. This is usually, again, when I get this card, like he could have been trying to poison her, or like I get this sometimes with drugs, like paraphernalia of some sort. Assault, which we know he did assault her. Health risk. This was a health risk because she was in this relationship. It was a health risk to her because it was not a good. See, we have the drugs poison card again. So some way and somewhere and somehow I think he said he tried to say she ran away. She didn't really run away, but he tried to say that. She was very much trapped. But also, she may have tried to run away and escape the situation, but she was trapped. So you take that either or. I know he did say that. I think he might have said she ran away. That's what they all say. But the way that it's coming in is like the runaway card and then the trapped card. So she did try to run away, but she was trapped. And then stabbed murder. Okay. Okay, and here are some cards I got for the location. Now, this can be on the way, where it happened, around the area. So it's interesting because some of the cards I did pull do match the reading. So first of all, school. So I'm wondering if there's a school nearby somewhere, or if you pass one or something, because that came in the reading and I got it twice here. We have power supply, which also came in. There's the church. So I don't know. I put the church in here. This can go in the other area, but I put it in here as location because sometimes there is a church nearby, or you pass one or something, or it could be, something related to religion too. But tunnel. So tunnel I can take sometimes as like the tunnels that lead into the river, or go underground or something. So sometimes I can take that like that because we got river here too, so there might be one in the area. It's coming on hidden neighborhood, bones, lost. What's interesting about this picture, look at this picture. It's kind of like an area I was describing, so I find that interesting. With the road and next to the woods and stuff, like it kind of looks like my vision. So this did happen on private property. I don't know if there's still evidence on private property or something else. I keep thinking he took her somewhere else. I don't think he'd put her on the property. I could be wrong on that, but that's not what I saw. So it could just be like it happened on private property, or there could be next private property next to this landfill. So we talked about him throwing things away. Desert I always take as like a sandy. It can be like a sandy type area outside. Portal can just be like vanished. Like someone goes into a portal, they vanish. I don't know if there's any mountains there or area that's like higher up, because I pulled this twice. We have burial as well, which I got. And we have road again. Road seems significant because it's road and then wooded area. So it's, again, interesting. Road near a wooded area. Hollow Earth, I haven't quite figured out what that means. Stored outside. Proper burial. So it did happen at the home. Mountains again. Mountains again. There's water in the area, it seems. Again, because I keep pulling river and water. Sexual intentions, which is kind of interesting because I was talking about that earlier about down that area. So I don't know if that's before or after. I'm not really sure on that. Random area. There might be a public building not far, or there may be something about a public building in a public area. Burned. He may have burned some stuff, or it could be just like she was literally like buried. And again, there's a school again. So school seems relevant. Above ground, because I don't think he buried her that well. In nature. It's weird. Inside, underground. So it's basically just saying buried again. Wooded area and work. So I don't know where his work is or if it's significant. I think they were both, like, she went missing, like, after her work. And I think he was, like, leaving his work or something like that. But work is relevant for her as well. It could also be relevant to where, one of their works could be relevant to where she is as well. But wooded area. So cards can also have multiple meanings, just like anything, really. Cases can, astrology can. There can be multiple meanings of that. So that's what we got for those location cards, which just matches what I'm getting. So we have forest cabin. Again, remote getaway. So I'm taking this as remote getaway. It's still it's interesting. Forests, water, all there on the card. There's crossroads. No, there's crossroads. So that's something I got. Restaurant. So I don't know if there's a restaurant involved. Like there was one that's close by, or one that he stopped at, or was known to go to. Laboratory. I'm thinking this is DNA. Cinema. I'm thinking like I'm taking this not as a physical place, but more like there's theatrics involved. My cat keeps trying to step on the cards. Mountain again. So I don't know if there's places where there's mountains or higher up. Fuel station, he may have stopped somewhere. Airport, I know he is planning to leave. So I don't know if this is in regards to this or if there's an airport around there anymore. Park, that can be also like a national park as well. So there's a place with moisture and stuff like that, which makes sense if there's woods and some water. Winding path, so there might be a winding path in some way, twisting. And it's interesting because I got the roads were kind of windy, but there also might be like some pathways. But I was getting like kind of like a windy road, which makes sense because the road kind of seemed like it was going up a little bit higher. There might be a place where it's like really windy. So the roof, so that's like a protective canopy, so you can take that as woods. The workspace again, which we know she went missing from her work. Well, she was last seen at her work. She went missing from home, but last seen at her work. But so that could have something to do with this, or there might be something about one of their workspaces. Coffee house. There may be something about a coffee house. I don't know if he stopped to get coffee, or if there's a coffee house by there, or wherever he stopped to get coffee by, or I don't know, but there's some that's coffee, tea, or somewhere like that. And then the bridge. So I don't know. It could be a bridge, like you can take the bridge as like a connecting pathway, overcoming divides, but connecting like, you know, a bridge from one state to another state, or one city to another city, county. And then there's that little bridge I was seeing too. Okay, so I did like a past, present, future with regular tarot cards. I'm still learning the regular tarot cards. So the past one says that there was like success, victory, like he was doing pretty good at some point in the past. Then we have the sun upside down, which is sadness, gloom. This is the present energy. Sadness, gloom, sorrow, pessimism, failure, inertia, inaction, delays, because she's been missing for a month, so there is some delays here. And also everybody's very sad and stuff. And then the future is the Ten of Swords, which is not a good one to get. It's mental anguish, but mental breakdown, ruin, failure, bitterness, exhaustion, collapse, deep wounds. And the deep wounds also can be what happened to her as well. And it's interesting that they're all swords, and we're saying that there was knives used. So I find that kind of very symbolic. I have to learn how to read tarot with crimes, but kind of interesting there. All right. So we have, so I pulled some people cards, but it's not always just the people. It seems to have also stuff to do around the case. So we have courier. So there's some sort of message in relation to this. Learner, I kind of take as our victim. I don't want to say her name wrong. Matma. Because we have learner and we have healer. So we know that she was a nurse, and she might have been one day wanting to become a doctor, but learner and doctor here. So since I don't think I have a nurse card, learner, it's medical field. So I find that interesting. These have to do with her, right? And I think he was older than her, so that's elder. Traveler, I think he traveled somewhere to take her. She was very much like a dancer, like how she was. And that came in the reading, like I saw her doing that. But he was a hunter. So stalker of prey, aim, strategy, pursuit. Also, he's allegedly a butcher. So I find that interesting. Butchers use knives. Betrayal and spy. Okay. There's something that's been kind of bugging me. I keep seeing like, I already brought up like how I saw her in the bathtub, like leaning against It's like she's leaning against the bathtub and she's like this and her arm is over now. I keep seeing that. I'm sorry to give you guys that vision, but that's something that I keep seeing and it keeps repeating. And then it's like, I wonder how their layout was, because it's like I get the main area and like bedroom and then bathroom. So I don't know how the bathroom connects, but I feel like there's a connection there, and I feel like she was stored, like I said, for a minute or put somewhere for a minute. So it's kind of interesting. It's something that's like repeating and has been repeating and repeated during the reading. So anybody can validate that. I did not read about this case. I just, like I said, heard about it 2 days ago. I only know the basics. So I don't like to know a lot when I go into cases. I swear in one of my Autowrites, I got a nurse going missing or something in reference to a nurse. I know I got it for Lincoln, but I'm wondering if there was like, I'm going to have to go through my Autowrites because that was just reminded to me. And I'm wondering now because I think it's come in several times. There's something that's kind of bugging me. Like, I'm trying to see more as I'm shuffling the cards. And I'm wondering if, like, she was just attacked out of nowhere. Like, maybe after an argument. I feel like this was planned, but the bathroom's bugging me there at the bathtub. But I mean, did he just like attack her like randomly in the bedroom or in a room? Like randomly attack? Because it's like I feel like there's an argument, but I feel like I don't know. I just keep hearing kind of an argument and then like him just kind of going off on her, but I feel like it was planned too, and I feel like she was caught off guard from it by everything. Like that's the feeling I keep getting. I can't really see where it's taking place at. It's like really dark. Maybe late at night or something. Alright, now these are the story cards, and actually one card isn't supposed to be in here. It's supposed to be in the other part, but it makes sense. So leaving it there. Alright, so we have healing. She was a healer, doing what she did, but there'll be healing coming that's come from this. That will come from this, but there was unseen danger. As like she didn't know he was gonna unalive her. And I think a lot of people didn't, but I think he was stalking her. I don't know if it was paranoia or what. He wanted all the power over her. This is about power to him. I don't know if he drank or there's other substances, because we got the other substances as a possibility at some point, but have the intoxication card. He may have been drinking that night. I just wonder if there's some money, something going on, because they used Anna's reading as like saying it similar. I know that there's money stuff involved in there, so I don't know what he did for work. I was trying to figure that out. If anybody knows, evil, demonic possession, and I was actually wondering this when I was channeling, if at some point he wasn't demonically possessed, or because that's kind of what the feeling I was getting. And that might be why like the last 6 months were like kind of different. Witness. So there may be a witness that's seen him somewhere or something. Like she had some intuition about this. And she was loyal. But maybe there was there's going to be rumors, or there was rumors. Now, I do think he traveled to take her body somewhere, but also he was planning on traveling out of the country or something. But there's a collapse with his travel plans, but also a collapse in the relationship, and a collapse kind of in the strategy, because he had a strategy. But there's a collapse with that strategy, and he did leave evidence, as we now know. Okay. But I've got every single time change card here. So the time is off. So this is always my, like, a change in time. Like, but the 30th came in. So I'm just wondering, because I don't really remember the dates or anything like that. So you guys will have to validate that and let me know. Down the rabbit hole. Trauma. There's trauma here. He might confess at some point. Last time I got the confession card was, like, I think Dylan Rounds, and he did confess. Ritual, which is interesting. I had wondered if there was like some sort of ritual element or sacrificial element, or like something to do like religious aspect or belief aspect or something like that. I don't know, because I got it because of that church card, and then I got a few other cards here. Sad, legal proceedings, distraction. There's a distraction somewhere. He probably has a lot of distractions in what he did and where he went. Because he hears a cult. Like, is he belonging to like a group of people? Lord, like, you can take that as, maybe he, I don't know, he planned this. So someone might have been blackmailing him at some point. There was a war between them two. We have a bad guy, which that's the card that belongs over there. There might be some secret, like I said, but this is wedding and marriage. So they were married. Organized crime. I don't know if he belongs to organized crime or he's thinking it was an organized crime, or, I mean, I haven't found her yet, but there's freedom here for her. See, mental health issues. He did have major mental health issues. Allegedly. Memories of love. Timeline issue again. I think he was stalking her online or something. There's cybercrime here. Who is he? I don't know who he was in with or where he worked. Fraud. Secret weapon. Secret. See, there's a secret somewhere about something. I mean, where she is kind of a secret, but cleanup, which we now know. Surveillance, which I do think he's been caught on surveillance somewhere. Curse. Ouch, my elbow. Alarm is another. It can be something that's alarming, but I also take it as another like time card. Egotism, very egotistical. And see, here's secret society again. So who the hell was he involved? Like, I don't know who he was involved with or something. That's kind of weird. I wonder if it was like an online community or something. I don't know. Crime of passion. There's a false flag somewhere. There was a struggle, I fully feel. It's almost like maybe he lured her somewhere in the house and did it. I don't think she was totally expecting it. I do hear like arguing, but at the same time, like I said, I feel like it was planned. It's a paper trail of something. Inside job, obviously. He's married to her. It'll be solved. Soul contract, and don't let him out without stopping him from leaving because he is a flight risk. And there was anger involved in this. And she was very fearful. And he pretty much mind controlled and manipulated her. He's going to be exposed. I don't know if this is like someone was dating someone else. Again, premeditated. There is going to be DNA evidence. And that's basically an assassination. Card doesn't go there either. But there will be justice. Okay, and one more card. Manipulation. All right, very much manipulation involved in that. All right, so we have phones. So there's some kind of something with pinging the phone, something. I feel like he was caught on camera somewhere. I don't know if they found that yet. DEA, I find interesting because that was coming in, and I have absolutely no idea if this guy's involved in some stuff we're not aware of. Confession, again. Investigation. It's going to lead to justice again. There will be justice. An affair. I don't know if that's in the mind or there was somebody having an affair. Physical evidence. On the run. So he was trying to be on the run before he was arrested. So it depends if they let him out again. But he was on the run before that, or going to be. Guilty. Call, cell phone message. And again, money involved. I don't know. I don't understand that, but maybe he thought he was going to lose money if she left or something, or she found something out. The group thing is kind of weird. I don't know if it's like an online group or a group he was a part of or a religious group. I'm not freaking sure about that. It's kind of weird. I pulled all those cards like cult and secret society. Okay, we have a few more to do and then we'll be done. Okay. It's weird. I'm kind of wondering if there's another girl in his past or something, or if there's a past that we don't know about in regards to him. I get like a weird feeling with him, like he could have another victim or something somewhere. That's one thing I was getting kind of in the Autowrite, and I kind of like dismissed it, and now I probably shouldn't. But I pulled the murder mystery cards, and all these basically validate the whole reading. So, victim engaged in unusual behavior prior to the crime. Killer is a predator who tracks a specific type of victim. That made me wonder. Additional evidence is at the crime scene, which we know they got a lot of evidence, but there might still be more. Victim or victim's family is familiar with the killer. Obviously, he's the husband. Premeditated murder. Killer planned out the details in advance, which I've said multiple times, and we got the other card for that. In the future, the killer may admit guilt, which the confession card had come in twice. Witnesses may fear coming forward with valuable information, so we got the witness card. There's that. I just kept pulling because I was like, what the heck? There was a motive for committing the crime, and it shows somebody with money. Like, so there is a motive here. That is somebody like stealing money, but it could be any motive, but it's just interesting. A rage or extreme anger was a motive. So know that he got really angry over something, is really mad about something. Killer may be currently in prison for another crime. He is in prison right now. They didn't charge him with murder. They charged him with something else. So that's why. Strange phenomena involved, which I find weird because we got the demonic possession card and stuff. So maybe he is. Maybe he is. Maybe he's into like that dark kind of magic stuff. I don't know. I kind of get that around. It's very interesting. Jealousy, an affair, or love-related crime. Okay. Lies, deception, potential cover-up, which he did try to do, and he has been lying. And it's interesting, this picture has a person with knives in their back. So, killer had an argument or disagreement with the victim, which I keep hearing arguing and interviews, but there was arguing at some point, and there was then again whenever it came up that night. But he had planned to do this, so I'm just wondering if like. Like they were going to bed, or she was in bed, or it feels like it was around that time. Everything's dark and it's like I'm getting bits and pieces. Sorry, that's the best I can do. Interviews with relatives or family may provide valuable clues, so maybe they know or have some ideas about something. Okay. It's so weird. When I was channeling, I was wondering, yes, I was getting mental health, and yes, he was like controlling and stuff, but I kept feeling like he was possessed or something, and there's hinted some kind of weird, I don't know. I don't know if it's not, I don't know if it's Santeria, because I know that's like not really Indian, but if there's like an India version of that, and if he was involved with like a group of people, this is so weird, the feeling that I'm getting about it. I don't even know if any of that makes sense. And I have some new cards coming. I'm curious how they're going to work out, but there's some kind of like affair or something going on here. Pulling cards related to that. So someone was talking crap. There's something with money, bankruptcy, or having a problem with money. I think he was fishing for like he wanted her to I don't know if he provoked her sometimes. Bad karma. Her light irritated his demons. Karmic friends. So this can also be them too. But tension, secret competition, forces things on her, forced to get what he wanted, ego, hurt ego, getting in the way of a relationship. It's interesting, the marrying for money card. I don't know if one had more money than the other. There was some fake flexing going on. Maybe she wasn't giving him any. See, and then we have romantic love affair. Sex fix, secret lover. See? I keep getting that in the card. Creeping. He was watching her, stalking her. Unbothered. She's unbothered. Somebody's unbothered by something. He might be unbothered by by this situation, but she might have been acting like she was unbothered about something, and it might have been making him more mad. I feel like he'd kiss butt sometimes. And that's when, like, she'd forgive him or whatever. You know how they do back and forth. Memories, flashback, trauma, side effects. She had some trauma going on. Somebody that fed off of her was hooked, groupie, thief. So he did steal her physical life. This is robbed, lost, theft, physical or emotional. So he did steal that from her. And he did steal, like, emotional from her too. See, love triangle. Again, third party, multiple lovers, couple choices. Unfazed. Somebody was unfazed about something. Impersonator. So he would act like he was somebody else, like, than he was. Legal issues. So we know he's in court now, but I don't know if there would have been legal issues if she had left him, or what that's about, or he had some going on. Interesting. There's got to be, like, money and affair going on somewhere. All right. So I'm adding this into the reading because I got my cards 2 days early. So I thought, because I still have to edit this, sorry, it's been too hot to do this any earlier, but I still have to edit this and get it up. But before I did that, I wanted to do the new cards that I got on What's the Vibe. I cannot remember the other lady that I saw using them on her channel, but I wanted to try them out. Never tried them before, so we're going to see what they have to say. And I'm going to add this in the video as well. And yeah, keep in mind that I don't do research on cases. I don't look at anything until afterwards. And I mean, I'm trying to get everything done on her case so I can continue on with what I'm doing. There's only so much I can do on a case. So I'm going to look and see what these cards have to say. All right, so it's basically validating everything I've already got anyways, but with a few extra things. So that she's showing up a lot in this card as well. So remember, cards are things to do with this, with her, him, around the situation, things like that, from what I've noticed. No different than any reading. So we have paranoid, cautious, insecure, guarded. So he could have been paranoid because I feel like he had that kind of paranoia thing, and I don't know mental illness from anything. But I feel like he has kind of that paranoid thing, and if he was on any other substances, that could also trigger that. But it's interesting because it comes in the next card that comes in is psychopath. So we have paranoid, psychopath coming in together. So he could have been very much both because of the way that they're laid out. I'm having a hard time picking these cards up. Paranoid, psychopath. This is how it came in, paranoid, and then psychopath came afterwards. And this is abusive, conveying, and conniving, and unpredictable. So, which we know that he is. He's very unpredictable about things, allegedly. So he might have been suffering from depression, or think he was going to have a loss. He might have even thought suicide after this fact, but he's pretty narcissistic, so I don't know, but he might be thinking of it now. But he might realize that he's in hot water now, and so that's why. But also, I can take this as this is how she felt. So, you know, we have the paranoid psychopath that's causing hopelessness in her as well. So you could take it as both. I'm kind of gearing towards it's more her and how he made her feel like she was hopeless and she had this loss. Not that she was going to try to do anything to herself because she loved her daughter, and I feel like she was trying to fight for both of them, but I feel like still, and I've been in that situation, she felt hopeless. She wasn't sure how to get out of the situation because of the paranoid psychopath. Because next to that, she also felt exhausted. She was burned out, burdened, and empty, which it makes sense because that's what also came in the reading. I felt like she was very tired. I feel like she was stressed out. And a lot of how she was feeling was masked. Like, she didn't show everybody how she was feeling and what was going on. And I feel like he was masked too in a lot of ways. Like, you didn't really see the real him. But she hid a lot. And she masked, right? She masked herself, but she masked it with laughter sometimes. So she would pretend to be happy and laugh. Which there was times she was happy and laughed, like when she spent with her kids or when she was with her friends or whatever, but she still masked things with laughter. That's just the way the cards are falling. Unfortunately, with all of this, there's consequences. These are bad choices, games, and mixed signals. And I feel like he made several apologies, and that's how he would get her back. Again, arrogant, rash actions, and insecure. So although he made these apologies, he wasn't ever serious about it. He just made false apologies. So there's lust again involved. Greed, by any means necessary and inconsiderate. And so a big part, I feel, of the motive of this could have been lust for someone else, because we keep bringing up the triangle, the dating, the fair, like all those cards that you can get for that. So lust may have caused him to stray from the relationship and be greedy by taking her life in regards to the lust. I mean, he was also controlling, and I feel abusive at times, emotionally, maybe physically, as I've stated. But he also wanted what he wanted, and I feel like it was going to be detrimental if he were to divorce or whatever. I don't know if that's a religious factor, a legal factor, both, what it is. But the lust, I feel like, is a huge reason and motive for this. And she was trying to run from him, I feel. Like she was trying to escape. And there was part of her that was in denial, and she did make excuses sometimes, which is the way that a lot of people that are in abusive relationships do, especially if there's a religious factor or, the way that you're supposed to do things and you're not supposed to leave your husband, like that kind of thing. But she did want to escape, in my opinion. So she was thinking of running. He was also running. And this is him. So envy, resentful, competitive, and discontent. So this is everything he was sort of feeling, in my opinion. He might have been resentful over something, and he was always this is competitive, but I feel like he was very combative with her. Thrills. So this is continuous cycles, bad decisions, and addictions. So I feel like there was bad decisions again made in the relationship, and he might have had addictions of some sort at some time, because that keeps coming in all the cards. So I don't exactly know what kind they are or whatnot, or if he was self-medicating for certain things. But this is continuous cycles. Like it was like he abused her, she stuck around, he continued to do so. So it's a continuous things and continuous bad decisions when the whole relationship. And this is him. So he's two-faced, double life, cheater, and backstabber. So this is someone, and this came in the reading, he could be somebody sometimes and then be somebody else behind closed doors. Like he's two people. And to come up in the cards at some point in the relationship. But he was having a double life in some way. He could be the cheater. So it's karmics. So third parties, haters, and lessons learned. So there's a lot of lessons here, unfortunately. And there was tension. This was her stressed out, migraines, worry. And I feel like she hid that from a lot of people, but that's how she was. And there was distance in the relationship. Like she was thinking about divorcing, leaving, separating, all of that. But there's distance. It can be emotionally, physically, but there's distance here. Also, you can take that, I think, maybe as where she could be, because I think she might be a little bit of a distance away. She only wanted harmony. So by by thinking about having a distance from, like, divorcing or separating, that's what she was going for, was the harmony. She was going for harmony, peace, and balance. So by leaving the relationship, that's what she wanted to attain. And she was trying to set up boundaries. Disrespectful enough is enough to defend yourself. So this is what she was trying to do by distancing herself. She wanted both of these things, harmony, and she was trying to set boundaries. He didn't like that very much. She constantly had emotions and worry and fear which is what I picked up in her energy prior to this happening. And again, here's a love affair. So they're dirty little secret, sex fix, and down low. So that keeps coming in all the cards. So I just wanted to throw these cards in here. They basically validate everything. So I'm going to go ahead and get... So I just wanted to put a little bit of mapping on here and show you the areas that I found that kind of match. And I'm kind of torn between two areas. I'm not getting like major hits on it, but there's certain things that I'm pulled to in the area. There's certain things that I see that are matching. So I'm just wondering now. I didn't see in my reading she could be in water. The river kept coming up, so the river is important. Also, what's important about this is the border is right here, and I kept getting the border. So she's either by the border, over the border is usually how, that comes in whenever I get a dotted line. Another city, state, whatever. I've noticed that the dotted line is usually a state. And like I said, I felt he went pretty far. And then after I did the reading, I wanted to see, because I got the cell phone tower ping, I wanted to see where that was. So that was here in this area. I also looked at her astrology chart. Now, we've stopped my lessons. I'm looking at it like, well, I know I recognize that, and that, but honestly, I kind of suck at it still. So the interesting thing is, though, we all know that Saturn's in retrograde right now in Pisces. So, of course, that means that there might be delays in finding her body, but Pisces is a water sign, so she could very well be in water or near water. I got a lot of woods, but it seems like this water is really surrounded by woods. I did get the chucking out of a bag, so I don't know if she's in one piece or not. I couldn't really tell. It's like I said, I get bits and pieces sometimes. Sometimes things aren't as clear as I would like them to be, but with that retrograde in Pisces, it could be that she's in water, but it's in a Virgo. It's in a Virgo. It's 18 degree, which is an evil degree, but it's at a Virgo degree. So that is like farming and stuff nearby. So there was some other things, like I think Uranus, from what I remember, was in the 10th house, which from what I looked at, that's like people of authority, which I feel like now, I was told he was in the military and wanted to be a cop, whatever. So that would make sense on that. And there's a lot of other things in there. There's some stuff in the 9th house, which would talk about there being foreign, but it also could be that she's far away. But there's nothing to indicate that for the body, but that is like a different, like they come from far. That makes sense. And there was part of fortune and stuff in the 3rd house, which that's where the evidence is, that's got him in jail. So it was interesting from what I remember. And again, the Uranus in the 10th house is also, it's 10th house is like public figure. So, but her Saturn and Neptune, of course, was in the 8th house. And I did the time of 5:39 on the 30th, which I looked up after this. So that does validate with the reading. So she was already deceased at that time, according to the chart, because she's got the Saturn, which is her body, in Pisces. So she could be either really close to water or in water, or she could be separated, and that's why I'm getting buried in water, or their evidence could be one place, she could be another. I don't know. I didn't see him actually chuck her in water. I saw him chuck something out, but I'm going to show you the 2 places that I came up with that kind of matched the reading that I could see. Okay, so let me go back over here so I can kind of zoom in and out. Okay, so apparently, and this is not where the tower is. This is just Loudoun County. I don't know where the tower is. If anybody knows where that tower is, it would be helpful. What I've noticed is in the reading, the airport came in, and that's right here. Okay. So I found that interesting that you would pass an airport. Also, going back down here, which I wasn't aware of when I got the C, because when I'm just channeling, I'm not thinking. There's also airport there, but this is, I think there was a ping at like Chantilly, which was the C, or he passed through there or something like that, or something of that sort. So somebody said, my friend messaged me and said that they pinged near, and I've been trying to get this up. I'm sorry, I'm getting it up late. I did it last night, but I did add some more cards to it because I got some new cards. So what I'm noticing here is this 15, I'm really drawn to this. I've gotten it in several readings. Edwards also came in Stephanie Parze. I find that interesting since it's a similar situation, only they're, you know, Stephanie and her boyfriend weren't married. But what I noticed is there's 2 schools here. Okay, which the school came in a couple times. There is, let's see, did I already pass it? No. Where is this? Where's this damn? Okay. So first off, I want to talk about Red Rock because she showed me a red flag. And this is why I'm torn between 2 places, kind of. So, oh, the Village Cinemas. Okay, that's interesting. I pulled some more cards. I didn't post them because I was just wanting to see. So I got a cinema, and I got the cinema too in the original card. So there's a cinemas right there. So that's interesting that there's a cinemas there. I also got the mall. There's the outlets. That came in the ones that I didn't post. But the cinema, I didn't even realize there was a cinema there. So that's pretty validating. Because I took it as, like, in the reading, like, the card, it could be, like, there's drama here, but also it can just be, like, a cinema. So that's interesting because I was really curious about over here. There's also a school here. The reason why is because the Red Rock Wilderness Overlook. And the reason why, too, because she showed me red flags. Okay? So I'm like, you guys, I've got to just put everything kind of together. Okay? Because she kept showing me red flags. So I took that as it could be a color, but I did not know that this existed. I also was drawn to Red Rock when I lived in California a couple years ago. As we know, things come to me years before they ever make sense. And here is some, what are they called? Electrical towers. Okay. So I think that's interesting. The electrical towers are by there, and the Edwards Ferry. So that was that's an interesting spot for me that I'm kind of looking at. And see, I'm thinking it's here because of the border. Okay. The border runs along the river, runs along the river, which is interesting because I did get something similar in Harmony. So that, and then I'm drawn to like I can't decide because they both have things that I've gotten. So again, in and around the area it could be, that's why so the 15 I'm kind of really drawn to. I know I've gotten that several times. But the reason why I'm drawn to it, I gotta find it on here again. And I don't know if he went this far. So in the cards, I think I got a concert thing too. But there's some churches here. Okay, in the cards I got like a gas station. There's a gas station right here. But look what else. There's a bridge. There's the bridge right here. And also what drew my attention was this tunnel. Okay, there's a tunnel there, Point of Rocks Tunnel. And it's a historical landmark. But tunnel came in. Wait, is this railroad tracks? Because another thing I pulled was railroad tracks, and those ones I didn't post because I was like, well, I don't want to I just wanted to see if anything there is railroad tracks there. Okay. All right. So this is kind of another area that I'm really interested in because of the railroad tracks, the bridge, the tunnel. Look, it's the border. Okay. I didn't even know there's railroad tracks there. See, I should have just told you guys what cards I got. Let me see if I still have them in the right spot. So cards that I had pulled. For when I just was curious because I was looking at the map as I was editing the reading. But I'm gonna go. I think they might be out of order though. It seems like I'm missing one. Am I missing one? Okay, so we have casino, which I didn't see one there, but this can also have to do with the case as well, not just necessarily where that's at. So it could be betting in the odds, or there could be somewhere where there's casino. I don't know. I don't know if you guys if they have any gambling out there. So there's nostalgia memories. So there's a place of remembrance, which sometimes I take as a park too, because there's a swing. Something could have happened in the living room because I pulled that card. See, here's the train. The train. I didn't realize there was a train there. Now, a hospital, that was the last place she was seen, but I did see there was one around the area. Now, again, this can be like miles away. This is just stuff surrounding, okay? Grassland, which there is a lot of grassland around there, and then we have the river. And the river actually looks like a lot like this area. The parking lot, I mean, he's going to jail. So elevator could be like a higher area. So when I pulled mountains before, like I say, it can be just higher elevation. Okay, it doesn't mean like there's like we're in the peaks of the mountains or we have to go way up in the mountains. And when I get windy roads, it doesn't mean it's completely windy. It means a few curves. You know what I mean? So this elevator is also like vertical spot, like accessible as well. Vertical transport and accessibility. And then here's the cinema card again. There could be a supermarket nearby. Court, legal proceedings, judgment, verdict, justice, and fairness. So we've already got that. She's gonna be getting that within the vehicle. She was taken. It's interesting, within the vehicle and fuel station. So there's a fuel station yet again. Workspace. I don't know how that's gonna fit, other than she was at her workspace. That's the last place she was seen. He was coming back from work. I don't know if it has anything to do with where she's at or not. School again. Damp and rainy realm, moistured area, temple. There can be spiritual practices around there. Again, there's like some kind of weird religious or spiritual element somewhere. Cemetery. Now there could be actually a cemetery, or this could just be a memorial stones or resting place, which is interesting. There's a memorial place right there. That's I just saw it. I'll pull it back up and we'll see. And then the crossroads. I'll show you where I saw the crossroads at. And then library. There's a library there. So let me pull the map back up. Oh, is this a row? Okay. Okay. All right. Welcome sign. Okay. There's churches on the other side. There's a library right here too, right when you get over. You can find a lot of this stuff on my pull list, which is kind of weird. I did see a memorial thing somewhere. Oh, that's Creamery. Look, there's a cemetery right here. Ortho Thomas Cemetery. So there's another thing. There's the library. Okay. This is what I was looking at for like a crossroads, because it kind of reminds me of like what I was seeing. Like here's like a crossroads right here. There is a crossroads. You can either go this way or that way. Like there's a crossroads there. Okay, but I did see like a memorial somewhere. Where did I see that at? I swear it was here somewhere. See Point of Rocks? What is that? Is it a bus station? Yeah, it's a train station. So that's interesting. Memorial right here. Oh, that's the memorial library. But I swear I saw another memorial. I don't know if it was here or over here at the Red Rock. So I'm really, I'm kind of confused. I don't know which one it would be. The problem with I really honestly suck at location. Okay, I can describe an area, finding it is completely different, and there's nothing that really screams at me. Other than I notice I get pulled back to the area over and over again once I find it. So that's something that tends to that's kind of the only thing that tells me. It kind of sucks. I wish there was like a slap in the head or something. I would totally take that, because nobody realizes how much I stay on a map. So I'd be curious if anybody knows the actual cell phone tower that she pinged off of, because that's something that came in the reading, was a ping. So I think she's trying to say that's important. So those are between those two areas is kind of where I'm drawn at right now. It seems like there's more fitting up here, but the red could be to put me in this area because it's in the area. There's also another This one doesn't make sense, really, because that seems like it's further away. There's another bridge there. It's interesting. Route 9 makes me think of Stephanie Parze. We just talked about Stephanie Parze. Stephanie Parze was off of Route 9. There's Route 9. But they told me Route 9 and Stephanie Parze. So I think I got 7 in her reading, which is interesting if I go back. Not saying she's off Route 9. I'm just saying that's interesting. It's there. I was just putting the reference to the cases because she's got to be by this river somewhere, either in the river or by it in the woods kind of thing. See, right before you go over this bridge, though, see, here's the gas station. I keep pulling that gas station. I'm wondering about this wooded area here, too, kind of. So I'm getting a headache around here. There is a church here. So that's kind of where I'm going with it. All right. I don't want to spend any longer on this map. Maps make me super freaking tired. I feel the energy on them, but yet I have a hard time focusing. It's interesting. There's Furnace Mountain Road, and it's windy. So that's kind of interesting, too, because we got the mountains. Huh. You do pass. I mean, mountains came in multiple times. This is Furnace Mountain Road. That's very interesting. It's very interesting. And it leads to this bridge. I wonder if there's a stop sign anywhere around here. This does kind of look like it's a split. See, a crossroad. I just wonder. It's almost like I go straight off the road. And, but then I got a lot of burial cards. I didn't get any. I got river, burial, woods. Like, I got a lot of burial cards. Buried or covered. Or she could not. She could be both. It's hard to tell because, like I said, her astrology is talking about water or by water in an area of water. But it's retrograde, unfortunately. So, but I do have a headache. But I don't know if that's just because I've been here or not. What is this Hisler Foundation? Oh, historical landmark. Okay, there's a historical landmark there as well. So, all right, that's kind of where I'm looking at. I'm more drawn to this than the Red Rock, but the Red Rock could have got me here, or it could be both be relevant. I'm not sure. Puzzle pieces, guys, puzzle pieces. So I'll leave it with that. I thank you guys so much, and I hope you made it this long. And I hope you enjoyed the reading. And I hope she's found. My love and prayers go out to her friends and family. And as you guys know, I do the best that I can in hopes that the puzzle pieces will lead somewhere. So hopefully these puzzle pieces will help in some way. And hopefully they're right. So I'll see you guys next time.